everybody. Let's do this. Here we go!
Hello Mouseketeers, welcome to Mondays with Mickey. My name is Mike Knigge and I am your host, and this week I'm going to attempt a 5-minute, 30 questions Star Wars trivia challenge. And not really a trivia, it's more of a, hey, what's your favorite this or what's your favorite that? We did one about a year or so ago for Disney in general, so this time we're going to do one, since we just went through May the 4th and Revenge of the 5th, figured let's do a Star Wars one. So I put this one together, and I'm definitely going to tag and challenge everybody to come on and do it, and let me know when you've done it. But let's get started. Like I said, my goal is to try to get this done within 5 minutes. So I'm going to keep looking away because I got to read the questions. So 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, first question: favorite good guy movies only. Favorite good guy movies only is going to be Obi-Wan. Particularly from the prequels. I liked Obi-Wan in the originals, but you get to see more depth with him in the prequels. Let's see, favorite bad guy, movies only. I'm going to go ahead and say Darth Vader, followed very closely by his immediate predecessor of Anakin. Not whiny Anakin, but really evil Anakin come towards the end of Revenge of the Sith. Let's see, favorite overall movie. That's really tough. It's a strong tie between Empire, which has probably got the edge up because it's one of the originals, and Rogue One. I really enjoyed Rogue One. The new trilogy, we'll see how that goes. The first movie was great, and honestly it's probably right behind Rogue One, but we'll see if that changes over the next year or two. But for right now, I'd say Empire followed really closely by Rogue One. Let's see, best original trilogy movie, Empire. Although I really like the space battle sequence from Return. Let's see, best prequel movie, my opinion, Revenge of the Sith. Let's see, favorite lightsaber, Anakin's. Let's see, favorite good guy overall. Probably Yoda. Yeah, probably Yoda or Obi-Wan. I'm getting wishy-washy here, guys, but I really like some of these good guys. I like Yoda a lot, but I like Obi-Wan a lot as well. I think he has a lot of his previous master Qui-Gon Jinn in him. He is a good guy, but he does bend things on occasion. Let's see. Favorite bad guy overall. That one's kind of tough. I've read the books and done the movies and all that stuff. Favorite bad guy is a tie for me between Admiral Dala and Exar Kun, who's a very strong dark side user. Let's see. Favorite spaceship. Ouch. We'll say the Eclipse class Super Star Destroyer. For those who aren't familiar with it, imagine Vader's personal ship, but basically twice the size with a Death Star laser on it. Let's see. Suncrusher was cool too, but that's another subject. Let's see. Worst movie overall. You know what? A lot of people are going to say Episode 1. I disagree. The worst movie overall, and my wife will hate me for this, is the Ewok Adventure. Oh my gosh. That shouldn't have happened. Let's see. No movie's worse than that. I'm sorry, honey, I love you, but I hate it. Let's see. Worst TV show. I'm going to go with a special. It is the Christmas special. It is the thing that most people don't know about because George Lucas has actively gone around trying to get rid of it. Any copy he finds, he deletes and erases or destroys, burns, whatever he can do to get rid of it. Because he allowed it to be made, but he wasn't involved in it, and it is horrible. Let's see. Worst. Let's say the worst TV show, best TV show. Ooh, that one's a little tough for me right now because I really like the Clone Wars a lot, but I haven't seen Rebels yet. So right now I'm going to say Clone Wars only because I haven't seen Rebels. Let's see. Best TV show, best park attraction or show. Let's see. There's a lot of stuff going on with Star Wars in the parks and whatnot. No, I had this one down pat the other day. Now I can't remember which one I wanted to say. Best park attraction or show. I know. Hyperspace Hoopla doesn't exist anymore. What a surprise there. They got rid of it. The Hyperspace Hoopla is hilarious. Look it up on YouTube. Let's see. Worst park attraction or show. How about the thing that replaced the Hyperspace Hoopla? The little trivia contest thing. They tried to do something cute with it, but Hyperspace Hoopla was hilarious. And they just replaced it with something that's not as good. Let's see. Sith or Jedi? I'd love to say I'm a Jedi. I feel like I have Jedi qualities, but the Sith have more fun. Sorry, Sith. Which trilogy is better? Now, let's be fair. There's only two trilogies right now. The original and the prequels. The original blows the prequels out the water. That said, the new trilogy is in the works. We got a movie coming out this year. Got a movie coming out in a couple years. We'll see. We'll revisit that in a couple years. But right now, I'll say the original trilogy. Let's see. Favorite bounty hunter. It's tight for me. I'd say Cad Bane is probably at the top of my list, followed closely by Boba Fett. I really like Boba Fett, but Cad Bane had more opportunities to develop in the Clone Wars. So did Boba Fett. But with the whole clone thing, they kind of pigeonholed Boba Fett a little bit. So Cad Bane had an opportunity to really develop his personal personality a little more. So I kind of like Cad Bane more. Although I'm always down for some Boba Fett. I love Boba Fett stuff. Let's see. Favorite droid. K2SO from Rogue One. Hilarious. I can only imagine, from reading the books, R2-D2 has a very foul-mouthed, smart aleck kind of personality that you never see because all you hear is beep, 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 boop, boop, whatever. K2SO, however, not the same thing. He has a voice and he uses it. And Alan Tudyk is K2SO. Alan Tudyk's awesome. Let's see. Favorite scene. There's two. And they actually come from the prequels, funny enough. The one that's going to win is going to be the final battle scene between Obi-Wan and Anakin in Revenge of the Sith. Because of how furious, and you can see the emotion and how well they did that. It's probably the best fight scene in all of Star Wars at this point. It's fantastic. The other scene was at the very beginning of Phantom Menace. Yes, there's something positive out of Phantom Menace. The scene where he takes his lightsaber, he shoves it in the door, and he starts melting the door. Or he starts cutting the door out first, then he shoves it in and starts melting the door. It's something they talked about in the books and the comics so much, and to actually see them do it, awesome. Let's see. Most heartbreaking moment. I would say probably Rogue One, watching K2SO die. I know a lot of people would probably say Yoda, or watching Han getting lowered into the carbon freezing saying, "I love you." I know. Now, for me, it's watching K2SO die, because K2SO was awesome. And coming to the realization that they're not going to live. All of them die. It's just it was a reminder, oh yeah, I know how this is going to have to end. So, really, really, that was probably the most heartbreaking scene for me, or moment. Biggest surprise. the traditional ones to say, "Oh, I'm your father," and it was a big moment the first time I saw it. Um, Biggest surprise for me, I guess I'm gonna have to go with that moment. There are a lot of really good surprise moments throughout the Star Wars series. You know, one that stands. You know what? I'm not gonna give it that one. The one I'm gonna give it is the moment you realize that Yoda is not this little crackpot creature in the swamps. He shows up. Food. What's this? And he starts messing with R2, hitting mine. And you think he's just this crazy little swamp creature. And you're thinking somebody like Obi-Wan is gotta be Yoda. No, it's the little crazy swamp creature. That was hilarious. Let's see. Favorite overall universe story. That includes books, anything from the expanded universe, the cartoons. In the movies, I would say Rogue One right now for me is probably my favorite overall universe story. I really got into the Jedi Academy series and the Heir of the Empire series and the books in the expanded universe. And so those are really near and dear to my heart. Of course, since Disney bought out Lucasfilm, they've made a lot of that stuff no longer canon, but they are starting to include things. Like they've brought Thrawn into the fold. There's been a new book involving Thrawn. So they're starting to bring that stuff in. So hopefully we'll see more of it. But current canon, Rogue One, if you go overall, including the expanded universe that's no longer part of canon, I'd say I'll go Jedi Academy first with Heir of the Empire right behind it. Let's see. Best game. Gosh, there are a lot of really good games. My favorite overall game of all time is Star Wars Rebellion, in which you got to choose your side, Rebels or Empire, and you had to build your empire. You had to get planets to join your cause. You had to build defenses for these planets. You had to build fleets to go take on enemy fleets, be it Imperial or Rebel. You could build a Death Star. You could build ships that were from the expanded universe, like the TIE Defender and stuff like that. I loved it. It was one of my favorite games. It's very simple, but it was one of my favorite games. Obviously, I like Battlefield, Star Wars Battlefront and Battlefield, whatever. I like those games. I love Disney Infinity's Star Wars expansion. And not to mention classic games like X-Wing and TIE Fighter and, all that. But I have to give props to Rebellion, because Rebellion for me will always be awesome. Force Commander was good too. Let's see. Most anticipated movie or experience. As much as I'm looking forward to the next movie, I'm looking forward to Star Wars Land in Hollywood Studios. That looks to be phenomenal. So, let's see. And in case you're counting, I have nowhere come near the 5-minute mark. I don't think the 5-minute is realistic, especially the way I talk. I think it's possible. So, we'll just finish it up and just have fun with it. Let's see. Experience number 25. Longest you have waited outside for a Star Wars movie opening? Probably 2 hours. Waited in line. I've never done the overnight thing. I've never been into it. But I have waited outside for like 2 hours for a movie before. Original theatrical release of the first movies or the special editions? This is going to be controversial. I'm going to say special edition. I'm not saying there aren't problems with it. There are. The whole thing with Greedo shooting first. He went a little overboard on... I know he was trying to make Mos Eisley seem really busy. He went a little overboard on it. There's certain things that were changed that didn't necessarily need to be changed. A lot of people hate the fact that Hayden Christensen in the last update to the special editions was replaced Vader at the end as a ghost. I think the special editions were good. I was fine with Hayden because that was the last time he was a good guy. I was fine with most of it. I think a lot of it did add depth to the movies. I do wish that they had included some deleted scenes that they had taken out previously, like Luke's meeting with Biggs Darklighter in episode 4, where he meets him at Tatooine, not necessarily when he meets him again over at Yavin 4. I wish they had kind of put that back in, but whatever. But overall, I think the special editions were really good. I like the special editions. I always have a special place in my heart for the original theatrical. And, whenever I have grandkids, my kids have already seen the movies. When I have grandkids, I'll make sure they watch the theatrical first, then the special editions. But I think the special editions overall were good. Let's see. Favorite alien species. It's a trap. Favorite alien species, that's kind of tough. I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with Wookiees. I like Wookiees. I should have really put on their least favorite alien species. Ewoks. Oh, Ewoks. Again, my wife's going to shoot me. I'm not an Ewok fan. Little teddy bears. That could start a whole rant about teddy bears defeating the entire legion of the Empire's best troops. But we won't go into that. That's a whole... I could start an episode just on that. So, let's see. Favorite planet. Coruscant. I know you guys are like, it's a giant city. I know. But what I loved about that is that you got to see the underbelly of the society, particularly when they were chasing the bounty hunter throughout the city. You got to see the bars and stuff like that. You got to see a little more of the culture, which you don't get to see in the overall picture. Favorite Padawan or apprentice? I'm going to go with Ahsoka, because she's a real person. Yes, she wants to be a Jedi. She's all pumped. She's moving forward, but she makes mistakes. She's not this quote-unquote perfect Jedi. She makes mistakes, and she makes mistakes with the best of intentions like a normal human being. Or in this case, whatever race she is. Twi'lek, I think is what she is. She makes mistakes. And at the end, she walks away because the council made a horrible mistake and disrespected her. And she realized, I can't be part of this. And it wasn't the stereotypical, okay, everything's forgiven, let's go and be friends again. No, she's like, you tried to get me excommunicated from the Jedi. You guys didn't back me up when I needed to be backed up. You didn't believe me when I told you what was going on. You shut me down and left me for dead to make yourselves look good. Bye. I like Ahsoka. Let's see. Most influential character. Now, this one's kind of tough. There are a lot of influential characters. My wife felt that Leia was the most influential character in the series. I'm going to say Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader. Because, he's pretty much a signature piece throughout the entire series. One could even argue R2-D2 is one of the most influential characters because he's pretty much in every movie. But I'm going to say right now, Darth Vader, a.k.a. Anakin Skywalker, because he's even having some influence in the new movies. I mean, Kylo Ren looks up to Darth Vader. So, that is the 30 questions. There are 4 extra credit questions for those who could have made it in under 5 minutes, but I wasn't going to make it under 5 minutes. I didn't rehearse this in advance. Obviously I made the questions, so I glanced through them, but I didn't rehearse it because I wanted it to be natural, just like anybody else has to do it. So, extra credit questions. Star Wars versus Star Trek, number 1. I love them both. I'm being attacked by my cat, in case you're curious why I keep jerking over. He's biting my arm and attacking my hand. He thinks it's a toy. So Star Wars versus Star Trek. I love them both for different reasons. Okay, Star Trek has that vision of the future that we all aspire to take part in and be and become. It has that that good feeling. It addresses social issues that we deal with today. Whereas Star Wars is just a really good story based on mythology, which obviously addresses themes of issues that we deal with throughout the centuries. But Star Trek's more current time, tied into where we want to be, whereas Star Wars is a good story with a good moral. Let's see, number 2 of the extra credit questions. What club does Indiana Jones visit in Temple of Doom? Now you're probably going, Indiana Jones? Why are we talking about Indiana Jones in a Star Wars thing? I know it's Lucas and all that. Club Obi-Wan. as in Obi-Wan Kenobi, is in the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Very beginning, when he's he's trying to get the antidote and the diamond or whatever from Lao, and he's trying to escape, and they jump out the window with what's her face? Oh gosh, now her name's escaping me. If you look at the marquee on the club as they're trying to pull away, it's Club Obi-Wan. Number 3, number 2, 3, if you're counting. Number 3 of the extra credit is which Star Wars characters guard the Ark of the Covenant in Raiders of the Lost Ark? Yes, another Indiana Jones movie. And yes, another Star Wars reference. If you pay attention to the hieroglyphs on the little pillars that surround the Ark of the Covenant, you will find the galaxy's favorite droids, R2-D2 and C-3PO, engraved as hieroglyphs around the Ark, protecting the Ark. Technically, if you really want to be anal about this, yes, you have R2 and 3PO, but you also have Han Solo, because who plays Indiana Jones but Harrison Ford? And finally, the last of the extra credit questions was, who shot first? Probably the most controversial Star Wars question out there. In my opinion, Han Solo shot first. And that is one of the things I don't like about the special edition. I believe that Han Solo should have shot first. I know he had Greedo do it first because he wanted Han to look less of a bad guy, less of a murderous kind of guy. But let's face it, Han Solo was a scoundrel. He was a smuggler. It's in his nature. Him shooting first made sense because he's going to protect his butt one way or another. And you know what? He should have shot first. The way that the original movie played out was perfect. It should have been left alone in that regard. Most of the rest of the special edition features, I'm fine with. I'm cool with 99.9% of them. But the biggest thing I have issues with is the whole Greedo shooting first instead of Han. So that is my 30 questions and 4 extra credit questions in what was supposed to be 5 minutes, but turned out to be like 18 minutes. So I encourage you guys. I'm gonna post the questions at the end of this video. I'd like to challenge all my friends, everybody who's watching YouTube right now, watching this. People like Tim Tracker, and we'll go ahead and even talk about Fresh Baked Disney. Challenge you guys to go ahead and do this challenge. It's a lot of fun. If you're a Star Wars fan, you might find it interesting. If not, hey, it's cool. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm going to leave you guys as I leave you every week. I hope you never lose sight of one thing. This was all Star by Mouse. Once again, my name is Mike Knigge, and I'd like to thank you for coming this week, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye.